Tiffany Hallback is a senior business management major from Austell, Georgia. She is the daughter of Lily Willis, Leonte Iverson, and Derek Willis. She participated in the SSU Health and Wellness Focus Group SCLC Voting Rights in Selma, Alabama, Nubian Elite Council of Fashion, SSU Savage Incorporated, the Habitat for Humanity SSU chapter, and Students in Free Enterprise with Let's Can Hunger. She has also served as co-chairwoman of the College of Business Administration Student Advisory Council.
My name is Tiffany Hallback.
My name is Tiffany Hallback.
I am Tiffany Hallback.
Hello everybody, I'm Darren Cobb and I'm here with the queen of Savannah State University, Miss Tiffany Hallback. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
You know, when we talked about this interview, you said you wanted to do it here in the SGA office. What is the significance of you wanting to have it here?
Well, I chose the Student Government Association office and the organizational suite because as Student Government Association, we represent our student body. We're the liaison between the administration and then, of course, our peers. And a lot of people don't know where the office is. They always, want us to advocate or they want to come speak their different opinions, but we never know what their feelings are if they don't come visit us. We have office hours that we open for them to come and visit. So I just wanted to have it here so people could see the nice luxuries that we have in here. Students can come in here any time of day or night. Sometimes we're here in the office at the late nights. And I just want people to kind of come here, see what it's like. They got computers here. They can come study. They can come meet with their organizations and talk about different things. Whatever to the student discretion, the student organization, the student suite is for the students. And here's my office space. I just want to remind you all that we're located on the second floor of the student union, so please stop by during our office hours. If we're not here, our class representatives will also be out here in the student suite, so make sure you stop by if you have any questions or concerns. We're here. Or tweet us at SSU_SGA, Facebook us, Student Government Association 2012-2013. So yeah. We're advocating for the students. We want students to come visit us in our offices, so there's no point of us having office hours if they don't visit. So we just kind of want to bring it here so people could see, what's going on here in the office and encourage them to come out and visit us during our office hours, which are posted on our doors. So please stop by the Student Organizational Suite.
My next question, who is Tiffany Hallback?
Who is Tiffany Hallback? Wow. That is actually a good question. I never thought about defining myself in just one word or words. You know what I'm saying? I usually try my hardest to make sure that my actions speak for me. I try not to make promises I can't keep. I love to try to help people and serve people as much as I can, and sometimes I can't. And so with that being said, that's why I don't make promises. I just do my best to be there when I can for someone, make sure I serve people and help people as much as possible. I don't know. I'm dedicated. I'm loving, serving. I love to serve people. Jeez. I'm attractive, I guess. I hear that a lot.
That's true. 4 years ago, when you first stepped foot onto this campus, could you have ever imagined being in this position where you are today?
I think I always kind of sort of deep down in my heart knew. And I say kind of sort of because it's like before I even came to Savannah State University, like I've always wanted to, change, not necessarily change my identity because I'm still the same person, just more mature. But I noticed in high school I was really involved. I was always dancing, like dancing was my life, literally. But I never got the opportunity to explore other avenues like pageantry or when I was involved in the Honors Beta Society. I didn't get to do anything but community service all day long, or I never really got to be active in any sport. I never really was involved in social type functions besides dancing and community service. So I said when I come to college, I just want to try something different. I didn't have confidence either. I definitely lacked confidence in high school. People don't believe me when I tell them that, but I'm serious. Like, I dealt with a lot of hardships growing up and other unfortunate situations which caused me not to have self-confidence. But once I got here, I said, I'm going to be different. I'm going to change my perception of myself, and I'm going to challenge myself. So every day, freshman year, I said hello to every person I did not know. And even the people I knew, which was only like 4 to 5 people who came from Pebblebrook with me, but I just was determined. I just wanted to make sure I got to know someone different every day. And it hurt. It hurt really bad because sometimes people would look at me and, you know, who are you? Who is she? Why is she talking to me? You're nobody important, you know. And it's not that I cared, you know, to be important. I just wanted to be different. I wanted to change the way that I viewed myself and to be, I guess, unique from what I thought I was going to be in high school. So, yeah, long story short, kind of, sort of, I had a feeling that maybe it would work in the long run, but I didn't really know that I would win. I always kind of suspected that maybe there's a chance, there's hope for me to be Miss SSU. And then I talked to my mentor and other former queens, and they all said the same thing. They weren't the most popular people. They didn't think they were, at least. They didn't think people really noticed who they were. They were always kind of, not necessarily the underdog, but they didn't always get acknowledged for all of their hard work. And that little moment, that little bit of words that they shared with me, that encouraged me, actually, because it gave me hope. It helped me realize that kind of, sort of, maybe I could be Miss Savannah State University. And that's kind of how it happened for me.
Wow, interesting. And like, as queen, you know, everybody has certain expectations of you.
Yes,
So my question is, does it ever become overwhelming for you?
Yes. Certainly it gets overwhelming all the time. I think what gives me balance is remembering that I worked so hard to get to this position. I worked so hard, and not only me working hard, but my peers, my team, they worked hard with me to help me get to this position. So obviously they believed in me. So no matter how overwhelming it gets, I have to remind myself, this is what we worked hard for. And I want them to be proud for selecting me to be their queen. I never want them to regret their decision. So that's why, in the midst of the overwhelmingness, that's my motivation. And even when it gets overwhelming, I also have other avenues that I try to take on, you know, to make sure that I'm relaxing. I go home, I play The Sims. I'm a little geeky. I play The Sims. I play The Sims. Sometimes I hang out with my friends, you know, my best friend, Quantel. I call my family all the time. I FaceTime my boyfriend. Sometimes I even go out to dinner with friends, like good friends, just to kind of get away. And believe it or not, I do go out. I get out a little. I have a social life. I do, you know, go downtown every now and again just to kind of clear my head. Or if I just want to be alone, I clean up my house. That's therapy for me.
Really?
Or I go to a park and just kind of, you know, get away, read a book, you know. So, but my biggest getaway is The Sims, if I can find time.
During the 2012 campaign, you know, that it's times like those that people's true colors began to show. Was that a factor for you?
For me, I can honestly say that I was myself from beginning to end, before, during, and after. I think, if anything, people actually got to see me for who I was through the campaigning experience. A lot of people knew about me or always said, oh, she's really friendly, she always speaks. But no one really knew me. You know, what I stand for, what I've done so far. That was my opportunity to kind of share. Like, although I've always kind of been the underdog in a sense, I've been doing work. So I think for me, it wasn't a matter of people's true colors come out in a negative connotation. It was more of, oh wow, I didn't know this much about you. I actually want to get to know a little more about you. And that's what I wanted that campaigning period to be for me.
So like, were there any rumors that you heard?
Oh, I heard many rumors. People always talk about you. There are always rumors. And I thought by the time I got to college it would change. No. It depends on the person. Really depends on the people. I've heard rumors, well, way beyond since freshman year, that the only reason I was involved in everything is because I wanted to be Miss Savannah State University, when really that wasn't my motivation. I honestly, like I said, I didn't really know for sure if I would win. You know, I just knew that I wanted to do something different than what I did in high school, which was dance all my life. And if that meant me getting involved in organizations, because I couldn't really get involved in organizations in high school besides Honor Beta Society, then that's what I was going to do. I used college for me as an opportunity to explore who I am and to mature and develop as a young lady and as an individual, as a collegiate. So that's what it was for me. And my dad always told me, you know, even during this whole growing experience, we always had this argument about natural hair versus authentic hair. Artificial hair. And I use my hair as like my way of learning about myself. So instead of me, I haven't had a relaxer since high school.
Really?
Yeah, well, don't look at this that way, but the point is, I use my hair as like a sample of my growth. By not having relaxers in my hair, I felt like if I ate right, if I lived right, if I was, making healthy decisions, the length of my hair growing would determine, my I guess the phase in my life. And my hair grew. It really did. It wasn't until a couple summers ago that it actually broke off really bad. And then that's when I knew I was overwhelmed and I was stressed. So I literally had to slow myself down to grow it back, and now it's growing back to where I want it to be.
See, that's an
So
exclusive.
that's something people don't know. But if my friends know, if they ask me, we talk about stuff like this all the time, like, natural nails, and I mean, I get them done sometimes, but I don't want to get them done now because I just want to be myself.
Just by looking at you, you would never have guessed that. So that's surprising to me. So coordination, what was that experience like?
Ooh, it was surreal. Like, I couldn't believe that day had finally come that I was looking forward to. Like, honestly, when I was campaigning, I wasn't even thinking about what coordination would be like. I just knew, I wanted to win, and oh my God, my platform, I can do this and that and the other with my platform. But the day that coordination finally came, I was honestly not nervous. And I didn't anticipate it. I was just kind of like, okay, it's coordination. I was even in the back, like behind the scenes. I was sitting in the room just like, okay, are we ready to start yet? It's ready for it to begin. But when they finally moved the curtains out the way for me to walk out, I was like, oh my God, this is my coordination. And then, the moment when they put the crown on me was just like a humbling experience for me. But the part that it really got me teary-eyed was when my good friend Deidre sang for me. I just bawled like a baby, and I was like, no, catch me. Of course, Mr. Leaders catches everything. So he caught me, and I'm like, don't cry, Tiffany.
Yeah, you got some good images of
you. Those were great shots. But it was a very surreal moment. I couldn't believe that it was here, and I was able to be a part of the legacy of women who were once Miss Savannah State University. It was honoring and humbling all in one.
Who do you trust? Because I know you have so many people that surround you on a daily basis. But is it hard to really trust people?
Yes.
It is.
I don't know. It's kind of like being in a crowded room, but you're still the only person in the room. Wow, that's kind of emotional for me. Because sometimes I trust people to do what they say they're going to do. But even then, I still have to be careful because things when I'm at my most natural state, when I'm just being truthful and honest, for example, sharing something about my hair, it can be taken and turned into a whole nother story before 5 minutes of me last saying something about my hair. And that's just an example. That's not realistically what happens every day, but I will say that it is tough sometimes. Because I'm myself and I'm truthful, and you never know who's really. Everyone's watching, no matter what. Whether even when you're in your PJs, somebody's watching. But you never know who's out to who has your best interest at heart. Let's put it that way. You never know, and sometimes it's hard to be in a room full of crowded people where everyone in the room. Like I literally would be in 5 rooms and I know everybody in the room. Might be a couple people I didn't meet yet, or the freshmen that are coming in. There's so many. I don't know all of them. I just know their faces. Yeah. But I'm still the only person in the room. If my best friend comes around, that's different. I know then I have Quantel there with me. Or there's my mentees who know me in and out because they always come in my room in late night and we just talk about life or whatever. Or good friends that I've opened my doors to allow them to live with me or stay with me for short periods of time. That was an opportunity for them to kind of get to know me personally. But it is tough. Sometimes you can truly be in a room full of people, millions of people, and still be the only one there and not know anyone. So.
And then it's what is the craziest thing that you've heard about yourself as far as a rumor is concerned?
Greek life.
Really?
Oh my God. I've heard so many rumors. People always say, oh, well, if she didn't come out on that line, well, you know she coming out on this next line. And I'm like, well, how do you even know? First of all, I didn't even know I went to the rush. You know, people tell me that I've been to rushes and stuff. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I wasn't even here on campus. I was gone somewhere else. Or, you know, just honestly, the biggest rumors I hear is that I'm supposed to be on this person's line, and I hear it differently every semester. I really do.
Yeah, I've heard
semester.
quite a bit of things myself.
Mm-hmm.
But as a woman in progress, you know, as you sit inside yourself, what matters most to you as of this moment?
Over the years, I can honestly admit that the things that I thought were really important back freshman, sophomore, and junior year leading into being Miss Savannah State University aren't as important as I thought. Sometimes, for me, I forget. I get so busy. I'm so caught up in doing my routine as Miss Savannah State University, making sure I'm at this place at this time. You need to have a speech ready for this occasion because you have to speak here, or this school off campus, or this person in this community want you to come out here, or wait, don't forget about your homework, you still got to do that tonight, or oh, I didn't study for this exam that's literally in 5 minutes, I forgot I was at this meeting or I was there. I get caught up in trying so hard to be so productive that I forget about simple things like family, you know?
Yeah.
Me and my dad had it fell out because, you know, he doesn't feel like I call him enough, and I'm like, Dad, can't you understand that I'm trying to be productive? Or my mom, she didn't get it at first either until she came and stayed with me sophomore year when I was Miss Sophomore. And during that whole week of homecoming, she was like, oh my God, you got to be here and there and here and there. I can't do this. I'm just going to stay in your room. You go out there and you come back when you're done. And it took for her to come here to be in my environment to see exactly what my life is really like. But that's one thing I can honestly admit that I think is more important to me now that I didn't really realize it was as important before.
So family,
for sure. I forgot about them so much because I was so caught up in my life and trying to be so successful that I have to call them sometimes. Just say, hey, Dad or Mom or little sister and little brother. I was thinking about you. And sometimes it's not even that I don't want to call or talk to them. I think about them all the time. I just forget to call or text because I'm so caught up, you know. So learning to balance family, love, and life, work, and duties.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because I'm trying to figure out how is it possible for the queen to be in a relationship with the type of schedule that she has. How is that possible?
It depends on your mate. My mate is very understanding. In the beginning, it was rocky. He understood though, like before we even got into our relationship, I always told him, look, college is a new experience for me. I'm going to be very experimentative. I'm going to try to be involved in X, Y, and Z amount of organizations. I just want to be different.
So you guys were dating before?
We met during the summer, like before my freshman year. So I was here for the Access program through TRIO. Shout out to Student Support Services. And that's because that's the only reason I'm here. They helped me get here, you know. But I was here for that program, and he was here already taking classes for summer school. And that's how we met, in the computer lab at the Freshman Living and Learning Center. And if you know me, you'll know the story in details that I won't share. Just know he wasn't my type of guy originally. He really was not at all. And I don't know. We went on a walk around campus. I'm telling you, it's possible for you to find love on our campus. Like, our campus is so beautiful. It's a great dating place. It really is. You can take long strolls instead of people saying, you know, how they take, you know, long walks on the beach. No, you can take your long walk here on campus. But yeah, so we took a walk and I learned so much about him. I honestly prejudged him, didn't know who he was, and once I listened to his stories and we had a very intellectual conversation that stimulated my mind, and I think that's what hooked me in a sense, because I like to have intellectual conversations. And so long story short, we talked. I got to know who he was. We had to talk about politics. We talked about life, love, family, what we aspire, what books we've read, you know, what interests us. And that's what kind of caught my eyes or my attention to him, because he really wasn't my type originally.
So he's basically like really intellectual.
Yes, very. And once I told him what I wanted to do, like what were my goals, and I asked him what was his goals and what does he see himself in the next 5 years, he understood that. And if I told him it would mean, some nights we wouldn't be able to talk on the phone, or it would mean, X, Y, and Z amount of things, but I hope you're ready for this journey. And if you are the one that I think you are, and if God says the same from the man that I prayed for, then you'll be able to handle this ride. And we've been making it thus far. I mean, it's been tough. It's been really tough. Some nights I get frustrated because I'm always busy, and he transferred, so I don't have him here to kind of like comfort me when I'm really low or I'm discouraged about different things. Of I have a goal that I wanted to achieve and I didn't really meet it, or I'm almost there. It's discouraging sometimes, but he keeps in touch. He understands that when he comes on campus, be ready to be called on at any time, because I might get called to come to somebody's church on Sunday, or interviewed on this day, or someone wants me to take pictures tomorrow, or I got to do community service and you got to do community service too. So whatever I do, he does too.
You're a role model to a lot of young females around this campus, but who do you look up to?
I actually don't have one person in particular that I look up to. I look up to a lot of people, a lot of women and men. Mostly are women because, I'm a woman myself.
Yeah.
But there's so many magnificent people who've accomplished so many things that, we never know about unless you ask or you talk to someone. And with that being said, I look up to different people who have accomplished different things that I want to accomplish in my life, or who are more experienced in certain areas that I'm not as knowledgeable about. I can ask them about it. I look up to them for those that type of advice. I have a mentor for my spiritual life. I have a mentor for my social life. I have mentors for relationships. I have mentors for academics. I have different people that I look up to for different things of my life. So.
Okay. And is there a real, a big exclusive that you can share with us? Something that you never dished out before?
I've dished this out. I'm double jointed. I've dished it, but some people don't know what it looks like until they see it for themselves. But I'm double jointed, and I'm really goofy about it. So people don't know, but I can. You want to see it? Okay. So I can basically do my arms like that and bring it back. That's something people don't know. Try it. Go for it. Don't break it down.
Oh man.
That's something people don't know.
Cool. Is there any advice that you can give to those that are running in the upcoming 2013 election?
Yes, most certainly. The best advice that I've ever received of all time was be yourself. No one else can determine what type of queen you are, what you'll be, but yourself. Yeah, sure, everyone has an idea of what they think a queen should be, or how she should be, or maybe she should sit like this, or she should smile like that. But it's honestly up to you. People vote for who they love and who they want to see, or who they think is best fitting for the job. So make sure that whatever you decide to do during your campaigning period, that it's a reflection of who you are, and that you give the best quality that you can. More advice that I would give: being Miss Savannah State University is way more than just being a queen who wears a sash and a crown. It's literally work. This is a full-time job, I'll be honest. Sometimes you'll do more work than you expect to do, and you honestly don't get accommodated for those things that you do, especially when you're giving your all and you're passionate about what you do. You don't always get in return I don't know how to say it. You don't always get the quality work that you deserve. Sometimes you'll be called on the spot at the last minute, so be ready. Be you always ready is the scripture my mom always shared with me. You get called at random times of the day and night sometimes to do things that may be within the next hour or so. I remember pulling up literally to a scene, and before I knew it, I was presiding a ceremony that I was only expecting to just visit for fun. So yeah, make sure you're always ready. Always have 2 quotes that you love at the top of your dome at all times, so you can always refer to them if you're asked to do something, speak somewhere. Always have a greeting ready. Yeah, make sure you keep yourself your reputation clean and dress presentable. That's the best advice I could give. But you can always call me. You can always text me. You can tweet me at Royal One Virtue, DM me, whatever. Facebook me, Tiffany Hallback. And I would love to help any way that I can to make sure that I give the best advice that you need personally as you're seeking to become Miss Savannah State University. Another thing I wanted to add to that I want the upcoming candidates to remember is that being a queen gives you an opportunity to minister and encourage and inspire other young ladies anywhere around the world, or even other people in general. It doesn't have to be a woman. It can be, guys. Some guys tell me all the time, well, I admire this about you, or I admire that about you. So with that being said, this is an opportunity to change someone's life and to really impact other people. And look at it more than just being the queen. Look at it more as an opportunity to impact someone's life in a powerful and positive way. You meet so many people along the way that look up to you, or they say that they like things about you, and it's a great opportunity to help someone. It really is. So as you're looking to become Miss Savannah State University, make sure you come up with a platform that you could really help make a change or make a difference that you think, you believe that the school needs or that the community needs to see. But most importantly, it's an opportunity for you to make an impact on someone's life. So.
Okay. And what's on the agenda for the spring semester?
Spring semester, big things coming. I just want to close the year out, finish my green project, which we are working on as we speak. We just received a grant from, I don't want to tell her name, but long story short, we did get a grant to do a green project on campus. So I'm going to work on that. And then we have Gym Academy, which is coming up. I need every young lady to be there. It's very important that you're there. We're going to cover all topics from relationships, hair, makeup, fashion tips, anything you can think of. That's what we're going to talk about at the Gym Academy. And that's an opportunity for you to learn what it's like from my perspective, from other expertise. And you get to share your stories as well with others who may not know. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, Ebony Magazine is coming soon. I'm going to need as many people to vote as possible. I would love to be featured in the Ebony Magazine, but I can't do it alone. It's going to take your help to help me win. We need to go crazy like we did for Obama's elections. So with that being said, that's what's coming up in the spring semester. Be on the lookout for Gym Academy. We'll be focusing on the young ladies then. Ebony Magazine, of course, and then, of course, the elections for the next Miss Savannah State University 2013-2014.
Her future goals include studying abroad this summer to India and China. In the future, she plans to attend graduate school and Empire Beauty School. She aspires to be an entrepreneur of a cosmetic treatment center spa that caters to the holistic well-being others. Tiffany feels the pure energy of true self-love is derived from the love of God in our hearts. If we continue to humbly and selflessly serve others, we will not only do a great deed, but reflect a misunderstood glow, starting with a hug and a smile. She wants to thank her family, Rest Talk Church family, mentors, friends, and mentees who have contributed to her character development as she humbly continues to serve her community, the alumni, and the student body of our illustrious Savannah State University. There you have it. I'm Darren Cobb, and this is your Queen 2012-2013 Miss Savannah State University, and this has been a Channel 96 exclusive.